Well, Pam Bondi has been confirmed by the United States Senate as Attorney General last night and sworn in this morning by Justice Clarence Thomas. This is a huge milestone for the United States Justice Department and for the Trump administration. Pam Bondi is a very, very strong pick to be Attorney General. That Trump, obviously, she was the second choice behind Matt Gaetz. There's a lot of thoughts behind, if Matt Gaetz was ever really a serious pick or not. Well, time may never tell on that, but obviously this was a very, very strong pick by the Trump administration that I stand behind absolutely. Obviously, we know that she served as the Florida Attorney General from 2011 to 2019. She was very strong as a law and order candidate in Florida. She was known for her law and order. The unwavering commitment that she had to uphold the rule of law and protect the individual rights of the citizens in Florida. Now, the Senate confirmed her by a vote of 54 to 46, basically along party lines at this point. There was only one person who went against the grain, and that was Senator John Fetterman from Pennsylvania. He always comes out of left field every now and again and kind of surprises us like this. But Pam Bondi, she has pledged to restore the integrity within the Justice Department, really focusing on an impartial enforcement of the laws and combating violent crime. A very big turnaround from what we saw in the previous administration, where there was not integrity, where it was a two-tier justice system, where you had the Biden administration forcing, or at least pushing, the Attorney General's office to investigate and help investigate President Trump, at that time Biden's, his political opponent. I don't think at that point Trump had won the nomination yet, but it was pretty clear that Trump was going to win the nomination. And I find it really funny in this New York Times article here that we were reading, Mr. Trump has made plain his intent to install an ally as the nation's chief law enforcement officer, vowing to eliminate what he calls his deep state rivals. The pledge has raised the possibility that he would seek to end a long-standing practice of Justice Department criminal investigations operating independent of White House direction. Bull crap! Are you kidding me? This is a bunch of bull crap. This did not. The long-standing practice ended under the Biden administration, when the Biden administration coerced the Attorney General at the time, Merrick Garland, to work with Letitia James, who was the Attorney General of New York, and crazy Fani Willis from Georgia to prosecute Trump. There was a clear coordination between the White House, the Attorney General's office, and these local state cases that were meant to prosecute Trump and drain him of his cash. There is no doubt about that. It's a fact at this point. And the fact that this person could possibly say that it's to end a long-standing practice, yeah, it was ended under the Biden administration. If you don't remember, well, Biden was on his way out of office in between, that lame duck period between when Trump won and when he was inaugurated. Biden, in an interview, was discussing that he was very disappointed in his choice to choose Merrick Garland to lead the Attorney General's office, because he felt that Merrick Garland had not gone after Trump quick enough. They kind of delayed and waited until about 2 years into it to go after Trump. He was mad that they didn't go after him harder and quicker right off the bat, which is just a complete joke. A complete joke. But under Pam Bondi's leadership, we are going to see a major reversal in the Department of Justice, because under the last administration, it was used as a political weapon. She is most likely going to reassess a lot of the high-profile cases where conservative figures or organizations were unjustly targeted by the Biden administration. She'll most likely review cases like election integrity cases, January 6th prosecutions, and any instances of really select enforcement of the law. Now, she's pledged to bring back fairness to the DOJ, ensuring that laws are applied equally regardless of the political affiliation, because, there was a lot of people, especially conservatives, who felt that while Biden was in office, his political allies were shielded while opponents were aggressively pursued. We're not asking for people to be left off the hook. We're asking for an equal appliement of the law. It needs to be applied equally. And that's exactly what we need, because under the previous administration, they focused heavily on right-wing groups. And there was a real perception that there was leniency towards groups like Antifa or Black Lives Matter rioters and other left-wing violence that occurred. Instead they focused on going after abortion activists who were trying to pray and sing outside of an abortion clinic, and they threw 23 of them in jail from 6 to like 43 months. They threw them in jail. But then if there's Black Lives Matter protest and Antifa protests, they just kind of get let off the hook. Because we absolutely need a more balanced approach to prosecuting the political violence that happens in our country. And, you look at stuff like the Hunter Biden investigation and other corruption cases. How the DOJ handled that. Why is it that, he was given a sweetheart deal, then he wasn't, and then Biden had to come in and pardon him? We need to bring a renewed scrutiny to these cases. No one is above the law, and we need to end the weaponization of our federal agencies. And it's not just the Attorney General's office. It's all of the executive agencies that were politicized by the Biden administration. And she's going to be a big step to depoliticize these agencies, refocus on the core mission, rebuild public trust. That's ultimately what she's here to do. Refocus. What's the true mission? Rebuild public trust. And that's going to align with her long-standing reputation as a law and order prosecutor and her commitment to upholding conservative values. I want a conservative attorney general. Absolutely. Now, this is a real promising development for a lot of people who've advocated for a system that's fair, that's not rooted in political biases. Now, stay informed. Keep up to date on this. We're going to see what happens, how this all plays out. Obviously, a lot of the things that we're covering right off the bat in the Trump administration, these are just the beginning of the processes started. So, this is the small snowball that's starting right now that could grow into a big snowball at some point. But we just got to see how this all plays out. Is she going to uphold justice? Can she, refocus the Attorney General's office on its true mission and really regain that public's trust and protect our constitutional rights? Because that's ultimately what needs to be done. We need to protect the individual constitutional God-given rights that we all have. So that's it for today. Hit that notification button down below to stay up to date on any other videos that we post out, and hit that like button if you liked our video.